Harry returned to the UK earlier this month after his beloved grandfather Prince Philip died in Windsor Castle. The Duke of Sussex spent 5 days in quarantine in his Windsor home, Frogmore Cottage, after flying in from his new home in California, so he could attend the funeral. However, Meghan and Archie did not join him. The Duchess is heavily pregnant and was advised not to make the journey by her doctor despite making every effort to attend the service. Meghan's friends also claimed that the Duchess was keen not to be the center of attention at the funeral. This was the first time Harry had returned to Britain since he and Meghan dramatically stepped down from their royal duties last March, and relocated to the US. Royal watchers had hoped that the Sussexes would return to the UK for Christmas, too, especially as reports suggested they were looking to be reunited with their royal relatives. A source claimed back in September that the Sussexes were considering making a trip back to the UK for the festive season. They said, "There's a lot of tradition surrounding the holidays with his family, and they both have really loved that in the past." With the uncertainty of COVID, they have been taking it one day at a time and are hopeful that they can all go back together and spend it as a family. They continued, "They are all eager to get back to spend time with Harry's family and for Archie to see his great-grandmother and great-grandfather in particular." The insider added that Frogmore Cottage had been prepped for the three of them. Meghan then got cold feet about the decision to go back to the UK. She was reportedly not sure she wanted to travel back there, and the family of three ended up staying in the US. Speaking back in September, the insider said, "Time will tell, if they would really be able to go back, especially as the entire family would need to quarantine for 2 weeks. Just days before Christmas, the COVID crisis did worsen in the UK and Prime Minister Boris Johnson even introduced a ban on mixing households in London and the southeast of England, where most of Harry's family are based. But, another source also told Us Weekly that the royals were disappointed by the Sussexes' decision not to make the UK trip back in November. They explained, "Everyone was so looking forward to catching up with them, as well as Archie. They're looking forward to making the most of things regardless." Harry told staff and volunteers during a video call with the Rugby Football League last summer, "I definitely plan on coming back. I would have been back already had it not been for COVID." The royal family has had to cancel or scale back almost all engagements over the last year in response to the pandemic and social distancing restrictions. The Queen has carried out most of her engagements via video call, while Princess Beatrice settled for a much smaller, more low-key wedding last summer than the one she had originally planned. Prince William and Kate, Duchess of Cambridge, also took to homeschooling their children, although they have just carried out their first engagement this year outside of London. However, Harry and Meghan seemed to send a definite signal that had no intention to settle down permanently in the UK again last year. While they did pay £2.4 million back to the taxpayer for their 2019 renovations for Frogmore Cottage, and then paid a lump sum towards renting the property, they have since lent the home to Harry's cousin Princess Eugenie. Frogmore Cottage is still the Sussexes' UK base, but not their primary home anymore. Harry and Meghan did initially intend to split their time between Britain and North America, as outlined in their first royal exit plan published in January last year. However, further discussions with senior royals resulted in a harsher outcome, and the pair agreed to spend the majority of their time across the Atlantic. Instead, they have purchased an £11 million sprawling mansion in the secluded community of Montecito, 90 minutes from LA. Harry is also expected to return to the UK in July, for the unveiling of the Princess Diana Memorial Statue in honour of what would have been his late mother's 60th birthday. But, relations between the Sussexes and the royal family are thought to have worsened after Harry and Meghan's dramatic tell-all interview with Oprah Winfrey in March. This has left some royal watchers wondering whether the Duke of Sussex will want to return to Britain anytime soon.